So, Carrie, I thought today what we would do is a little quick stir fry. I know
Okay.
we've done some of this kind of stuff in the class, and you're probably working on something that you can bring into the conversation too with what you're doing in the classroom right now. But, you know, getting kids focused on something that they can eat with their hands and that they can cook in a few minutes,
Yep.
that uses some of what they can find inexpensively in the market
Yes.
or in the food forest on campus, I thought would be a great way to, you know, sort of put together a simple lettuce wrap
Okay.
kind of thing.
Great.
So this would be the kind of thing that you might make at lunch or for lunch. And I'm starting with a little bit of fresh ginger. As you know from our classroom cooking, we usually try to start with something that looks and smells good. And I can already smell that ginger,
Yeah, I love ginger.
coming. And of course, we know it's a great digestive aid as
Yep.
well. And always a little onion to accent the flavors. Now, when we cook in your class, you have some burners, right?
Yep.
And then you have electrical equipment.
Yeah, we've got we've had a makeshift kitchen. You know, we didn't even have a sink until about a year and a half ago when our celebrity garden sponsor, Emily Van Camp, came in, and we'd made her some Swiss chard wraps, and she's like, how do you do this without a sink? So she helped us get a sink, but we makeshifted our whole kitchen in the back of our classroom. We have portable burners that we bring in. We have, you know, cupboards that we've installed, and all through the help of our CPA grant and other people within the community. So it's exciting to make lettuce wraps today. I've got two different students. We've got our health and fitness fair, our 6th annual health and fitness fair, coming up April 10th, and I've got two students trying to make lettuce wraps.
Oh, how
so
cool.
I'm doing a healthy food challenge with the students. So kids are teaming up in groups of 3 to 5, and they are creating a healthy dish that they have to prepare for the class. And then the top 10 dishes will be chosen to be served at the fair for healthy food tasting.
Oh, cool. So now who's deciding which are the top 10?
The students are choosing, they're voting on the top 10, you know,
Okay.
based on kind of using some of the same principles that we did in the fall for our food day challenge. And I'm kind of, the kids are very excited about it, and they've come up with some really interesting recipes. But we've got 2 different lettuce wraps that they're going to try to make, and so yeah, I'm excited.
Great. Well, let me tell you what I've done here, because while we've been talking, I've just sort of tossing stuff in here. So we started with the ginger and then a little green onion or scallion, and then I added some shiitake mushroom that I soaked and stemmed and sliced, and I've got some chicken breast meat here, which I cut into small enough dice that it would cook really, really quickly, and I've added to that some cut up bok choy. Now, of course, any of these vegetables can be swapped out for something else.
Right.
You know, I put in some water chestnuts because I had them. If I didn't have them, we'd leave them out.
Okay.
You know, maybe we would put celery or something else crunchy.
Right.
And I know when we cook together in class, we talk about the fact that it's, you know, it's cooking. It's not, I mean, it's science, but it's not science.
Yes.
And so, you know, being sort of constrained by a recipe in a situation like this really doesn't make a lot of sense, because what you're going to want to do is pick the things that you have at hand that are affordable.
Yep.
And for seasoning, I know that you have to watch gluten.
Yep.
When I come to cook in your class, we're very sensitive to gluten because you have a gluten-free
a couple students that have celiac. Yep.
And so I'm using tamari here,
Okay.
which is gluten-free, naturally brewed naturally brewed soy sauce. And this is a low sodium variety.
Okay, great.
And hoisin sauce. Now, hoisin does have a little gluten in it, but since you know we're not in front of your class right now, we're just cooking for taste. You could add in a couple of spoonfuls of that for flavor. Of course, you know, if you needed to be mindful of certain ingredients, you just would leave them out in this circumstance. And I've also brought something that we've been doing at NutriFit. In our garden, we have started, and at our farm, we've actually started doing some hydroponic farming.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so this is one of our hydroponic lettuces.
Beautiful.
And you can see there's
roots.
there's the little root ball.
Oh, that's really neat.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you grow it in these little they're called nests, but they're really some little things. And, and they just grow so beautifully. So if you want to grab a couple of lettuce leaves there that look good for wrapping, our mixture is already done. That's how quickly it cooks.
That's great. Yeah, we've got lettuce popping up all over the garden. It's seeded itself in different places, so.
Yeah, we call them volunteers.
Yep,
you know?
we are volunteers. My dad always says the recipe is a source of inspiration to help the cook. You know, be led in the kitchen, but it doesn't always have to be followed. So I've been trying to help the kids understand that.
Yeah, it's a tough concept when you feel uncertain of your own knowledge base. But I think, why don't you see what you can do as far as getting that one together?
Yep. I always talk to the kids about chemistry. If chemistry is involved, like baking, then we really need to follow the recipe. But if there's no chemistry, if it's just cooking, we can make it. Let's see. I'm going to kind of fold it over a little bit. There we go.
All right, let me see if I can.
See if you can maneuver that a little bit better.
I'll see if I can do. Let's put this guy aside, and we'll see if we can get this one to behave.
Okay.
Sometimes it does, and sometimes you just can't put too much in there, which is kind of good from a portion control standpoint, because you can use small amounts of the filling and a lot of lettuce leaves, and that way you end up really getting a lot of. There you go. That one's more like a little
bit more like
a cap.
Yeah, I'm going to try to fix this one.
All right. So now what I want you to do is I want you to taste that one.
Okay, I'll taste it. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yum.
All right. Tell me how we did. So maybe this will be one idea that your students come up with.
Right. Well, I like their crunch. So the crunch from the water chestnuts and the bok choy.
Right.
Really nice.
Right. Good. Good. Well, as simple as that is as simple as it can be.
Yeah.
When it comes to healthy food and cooking, it doesn't have to be complicated. And I'm so thrilled that you came to talk to us today a little bit about your exploration in the kitchen, your exploration in the world of food forestry. And I know that our audience wants to stay connected to you, to follow not only your progress at school, but the other things that you're actively involved with. What's the best way for them to reach you?
I have a simple email, and it's healthieruni@gmail.com. You can email me. Otherwise, I'm at University High School in West LA. We've got universitywildcats.org is the school website. And UNIAHES, UNIAHES.com is our academy website.
Great, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to joining you next week in your classroom. And I just couldn't be more thrilled that you came all the way over and spent the time with me this afternoon.
Thank you so much. We're really excited. I'm really excited to be here.
We'll see you again soon.
All right, sounds good. See you next week.
For more Food Exposed, check me out on emPOWERme.tv. And until next week, remember, make food your best friend and exercise your companion for life.